scrutinising the various elements of your assessment process is known as validation. Assessment validation can occur before, during, or after the assessment is conducted. Its purpose is to ensure all the components of the system meet the rules of evidence and the principles of assessment. As you can probably recall, the principles of assessment are valid, reliable, flexible, and fair. These apply to the way that the assessment is created and conducted. Valid means that it meets the criteria of the unit of competency you're trying to assess. Reliable means that it can be used over and over again with different assessors in different conditions and still return the same type of assessment decision. Flexible means that the assessment itself can be varied within the rules of reasonable adjustment to ensure that it can meet the candidate's specific requirements, such as literacy issues, perhaps physical issues, etc. And lastly, fairness means that you cannot discriminate between any candidates based on all the standard things you'd expect, i.e. gender, age, race, etc. The rules of evidence can be applied once the assessment has been conducted at least once. The reason for this is that you need to see if the candidate has understood and can provide the correct evidence as required by the unit of competency. So those 4 rules are valid, authentic, current, and sufficient. I like to think of it as VACS, V-A-C-S, valid, authentic, current, sufficient. All this is talking about is that the evidence you collect is valid, in other words it meets the criteria of the unit. It's authentic, so it's the work of that particular candidate and nobody else's. It's current, so it can't be evidence from say a year ago or 2 years ago, depending on the competency that you're trying to assess. And last but not least, it has to be sufficient. In other words, there must be enough evidence gathered to support the finding of competent or not yet competent.